Ooh, he's a bit chilly.
Hey everyone, I'm back.
How are you doing? Feeling any better?
Much better, thanks. Whew, it is so good to have you guys here. I was a little worried that the theater would be empty by the time I got back. Let me see. Tonya and Vodyanitsa are missing, which means Vodyanitsa died last night. And then you discovered that Tonya was the other dead person. Am I right?
Oh, wow.
Not Tonya. Petashka.
Oh.
First, tell us how you made it back here. Given the conditions outside, no one should be able to return alive.
You're right. The thing that got me back safely was a song. I heard someone singing. After walking into the snowstorm, my mind grew hazy. I don't know how long I walked through the storm before my mind completely slipped away. Then, suddenly, I heard the sound of singing. The voice instantly brought me back to my senses, and I regained consciousness. So I followed the voice, searching for the source of the singing. I searched and searched, until finally, just a few moments ago, there was the entrance to the theater, right in front of me.
The singing.
I've actually never performed this song in the theater before, because it has more of a ceremonial purpose for our people. It's not meant for the stage.
The Requiem.
It means something like, "May those we have lost watch over us, and follow this song back home in the night, so that we might be reunited once more."
That must have been Vodyanitsa's Requiem. Who knew it actually worked?
That song is meant to guide the souls of the dead. miHoYo, that must mean that you...
Are actually dead. Then what?
Huh. No kidding. Huh, seemed like I guessed right then. This is what I've been so desperate to tell you about. When I first stepped out of the theater, I was still quite lucid. My memory of it is still pretty intact. I remember the outside world being completely different than what I'd expected. It was like this was a world where only the snowstorm existed. There wasn't a trace of any humans or buildings ever having been there. I don't know how else to describe it, except to say that it just didn't seem like the real world. And as for the Requiem, if I was guided here by Vodyanitsa's song, it can only mean that I must already be dead. And this is my soul, not my body. But I didn't experience a clear moment of death while I was out there. Nor do I feel any different now than before I walked into the snowstorm.
You don't seem any different to me either. In fact, this is something I've been wondering about for a while now. If souls aren't physical, shouldn't they lack tangible form? Both Shram and Petashka were clearly deceased, and yet their souls didn't look or feel like ghosts at all. They were visible, tangible, no different than you or me.
This raises a truly terrible thought. Is that really what miHoYo is suggesting?
What was miHoYo trying to tell us? Everyone in the theater's been dead this entire time!
miHoYo's soul was summoned back by the Requiem, confirming that he is indeed already dead. And yet, he looks no different from us. Of course, if even the long-deceased like Mr. Shram can blend in with us undetected, then maybe we've all been dead from the very start. And all of us are now souls wandering the theater.
Haha. That's a familiar eye.
Yes. I think that this is probably the afterlife.
What did you say?
You heard me. We died in the theater. All of us did. But due to an obstruction in the theater's ley lines, our souls are trapped here, while an endless, infinite snowstorm rages outside. It's ironic, really. All that time, we were working so hard to figure out who the deceased among us were, when the truth was, we were all deceased. The only difference being some of us died more recently than others. Do you remember that note, "Death is near"? Seems like we misunderstood what it meant after all. Death was nearer than we wanted to think all along. The note simply meant that all of us were already dead.
So all our attempts to survive, our search for the deceased, it was all for nothing?
Hard to say. At the very least, we helped 2 lost souls find clarity and go to where they belong. The presence of those 2 is probably what caused our souls to be drawn in by the ley lines. In which case, the deaths we've awoken to over the past few days were just souls returning to the ley lines for good.
If what you're saying is true, doesn't that make us the lost souls now? Huh, no wonder. This afternoon, when I was moving Vodyanitsa's body, I noticed that the other bodies in the room hadn't decayed one bit after all these days.
That's further proof that those aren't physical bodies at all, but merely our shells here in the afterlife.
Am I really dead? This doesn't feel real to me at all. No, that's impossible. This cannot be how it all ends.
I still find it hard to believe that all of us are dead. How exactly did we die in the real world? None of us have any memories of dying, right?
Not even knowing how we died is preposterous. Good grief! Surely there has to be some reason.
Exactly. It's hard to rest in peace when you don't even know how you died. It gave me lots to think about as I strode out into the snowstorm. I racked my brains trying to remember the cause of my death, the exact moment I died, the root of all of this, right up until my consciousness faded. Wait. Hold on. Right before I lost consciousness, I think I saw something.
What was it?
I can't remember. And I think I lost my notebook and pen.
Mitya, your hand. Is that blood on your fingers?
Huh? You're right. There's blood on the fingertips of my right hand. Looks like it's already dried. When did that happen?
Oh.
What the?
Where?
I guess this was what I saw. I must have desperately drawn it in my own blood right before losing consciousness. What's wrong? Do you recognize the symbol?
Oh, I'm familiar.
It's Renova, the ruler of death.
That's the name I was trying to think of, Renova. Got the ruler of death bit.
Alosha, do you still remember that Snezhnayan folktale you told me about? It was about the Grim Reaper. When someone's about to die, he appears as an incarnation of someone familiar to guide their soul into the afterlife. And as soon as you recognize his face, your life is over.
I heard a similar tale when I was little. You think the Grim Reaper in this story refers to the ruler of death you mentioned?
That's right. In which case, death is near could also mean that the Grim Reaper is here disguised in a familiar form.
Death, the deceased, and the Grim Reaper? So it's a triple entendre. When I first saw this note, I thought it contradicted the investigation report. But now it seems like that was the whole intention.
So the Grim Reaper deliberately misled us. Then, we started suspecting each other and searched for the deceased while they hid in plain sight.
By that logic, the one person most likely to be the Grim Reaper incarnate is...
Hello. Oh, bloody hell.
No doubt about it. It's Alosha. Looking back at how everyone has acted over the past few days, Alosha is most likely the Grim Reaper lurking among us. Is it you, Alosha? You were the first to discover the investigation report, and you had plenty of time to slip the note inside to mislead us.
So? Surely you can't suspect me based on that alone. What if someone else found the investigation report first, slipped the note inside, and then put it back without telling anyone?
There's no denying it. The note could easily have been slipped in much earlier than it was discovered.
That's not all. I've also noticed that although on the surface, Valeri, Mitya, and sometimes I were the ones taking charge of the situation. Looking back now, even though you didn't say much, you were always subtly guiding everyone from the sidelines.
What do you mean?
You were the one who emphasized how dangerous it was outside and insisted we all stay here. It was also you who suggested that we all sleep in the same place. And earlier today, you tried to convince Patashka to stay. I don't understand why, but it was out of character.
So, you didn't understand my intentions, and now you're assuming the worst. Seems pretty unreasonable if you ask me.
He still won't admit it. Fine. Let's see how he responds to the most damning evidence of all.
The biggest question I have right now is, if the Grim Reaper is impersonating Alosha, then where's the real Alosha? When did they switch?
Like a cat among pigeons, you might say. Yep, first one. Because that's when it was like, oh, I didn't notice you were here. Yeah. After the performance while investigating the snowstorm.
That's right. This was the moment. Right at the start. Before any victims had even emerged, Alosha was switched with the Ruler of Death while everyone's guard was still down.
Hello.
When all this began, right after the performance ended and the snowstorm began to pick up, no one suspected anything unusual. We just assumed we were snowed in. It wasn't until we discovered the bodies the morning after that we realized something out of the ordinary was going on. But it's clear now that the oddities actually started earlier than that, when Dimov walked into the snowstorm and never came back.
Right. So Mr. Dimov was the first victim, not Sobolova and Torgov.
And if we pinpoint that moment as the beginning of this incident, then one thing becomes clear. Alosha, you are the only person who walked into the snowstorm and came back without the help of Vodyanitsa's Requiem.
More precisely, Alosha never came back at all. The one who came back was the Grim Reaper.
Not bad. Well, since you've backed me into a corner, I suppose there's no point in keeping up the act anymore.
Alosha?
You're the Grim Reaper?
I am no such tired cliché. Mortals should address me as the ruler of death. Before being wiped out for good, you identified the two deceased, and even sensed my presence. A commendable achievement. Far beyond what I expected.
I heard you can ferry souls. Those deaths each night. Were they your doing?
Your initial conclusion was correct. Due to the existence of the two deceased, the ley lines yearns to reclaim those long-lost souls. Every night they devoured an equal number of souls to fill the void. This required no intervention from me. Though of course, ferrying souls is indeed my authority. Here, take a look.
Oh bloody hell. Are dead? Mr. Truganov!
What are you doing?
That takes care of today's two. Don't get so worked up. You are already dead, and your souls must return to the ley lines.
I know we're already dead. You murdered us, didn't you?
Murdered? No. Murder is when mortals usurp my authority. Death is my jurisdiction. If I require someone to die, I need not resort to such laborious methods as murder. You simply met the criteria to trigger my curse of death.
I know about the curse of immortality. So there's another death-related curse too?
You cursed us? When? And why would you do such a thing?
So often, humans pray to me, begging to know when their death will come and what form it will take. But few people ask why. If you must have an answer, know that death comes simply because one's time has come.
So you're not gonna tell us the truth?
Hold your tongue. By all rights, you shouldn't even be allowed to speak with me. Those angels from the past are to blame for the reckless renovation of the ley lines here. It's made my work on this occasion infuriatingly complicated.
Work? So trapping us here, making us watch our friends die, that's just another day at work for you?
You clearly have a lot of questions. Fine. As a reward for your remarkable accomplishments over the past few days, I shall answer a few of your inquiries, provided they aren't too unreasonable. After the physical body dies, the soul must return to the ley lines for that person's death to be considered complete. My work encompasses the entire process of death, including, naturally, the guiding of souls into the ley lines, with which you are now so familiar. You must also be rather familiar with Natlan's Night Kingdom, I presume? It was I who supported the creation of the Night Kingdom. It provided a convenient means of guiding the souls of Natlan. Here, too, the ley lines connected to the theater underwent some modifications. The angels hoped to make them capable of accommodating the souls of some special creations.
Oh.
But this actually hindered their ability to accept ordinary souls to some degree. This effect manifested itself after you died from the curse in the theater, leaving you stranded in the afterlife, unable to achieve a complete death. But if souls who die from the curse of death fail to return to the ley lines within a short window of time, they will miss their chance for good. Then, they will remain forever suspended between life and death, no longer subject to the authorities of either.
So if you don't resolve this matter soon, and see all our souls return to the ley lines before long, we'll escape your control.
Mitya is sharp. This must be what Renova was worried might happen, and the reason she got involved to begin with.
But if you have the authority to guide souls, why didn't you just show yourself and get it over with? Why hide among us in the form of Alosha?
You seek to understand the mind of a god. Very well. I'll tell you. This is a theater, and I decided I wanted to watch a show about death. That's why I encouraged you to take the events to the stage. I found myself getting quite immersed. I suppose the entertainment you provided makes up for all the trouble you've caused me by being so defiant in the face of death. There. Are you happy with my answer?
Can't say I am.
Really? But it fits the stereotypes you humans have about gods.
Just moments ago, you were complaining about how infuriatingly complicated your work here has been. Work is work, I get it. There are times when it's a huge pain, but you just have to get it done, right?
That's a rather unique perspective for a human. You are in fact correct. There is a pain point in this case. Due to the obstruction in the theater's ley lines, there is a hard limit on the number of souls they can receive each day, making it impossible for me to ferry all your souls at once. Revealing my identity too soon would inevitably have led to futile resistance, and there was a risk that any souls who chose to run would disappear. Then there was the issue of the 2 lost souls you called the deceased. The way you resolved that quandary was all part of my design.
That's what I don't understand. If all of us were souls of the dead, what made their presence among us special?
For centuries, they have refused to return to the ley lines, exploiting the issues created by the angel civilization to resist being drawn in. Centuries of obsession accumulated during this process. You may think of this obsession as the resentment of the dead. And in this quantity, it was a bomb that could have detonated at any moment. It reached the point where I could not afford to leave it unchecked. But the only way to fix it was to help them acknowledge their own deaths, make peace with their regrets, and willingly walk into the snowstorm. Only then, with my guidance, could they finally return to the ley lines. Otherwise, you would not like to know what the consequences would have been.
I vaguely remember seeing Batashka, but in the most terrifying form. Was that in a dream? Is that what would have become of her if she hadn't returned to the ley lines?
I see your dreams brought you many revelations. So you see, death in fact grants wisdom to mortals. Souls connect to all things in the world and see the chain of cause and effect between them. It's nothing unusual. Anyway, giving psychological counseling to lost souls is not my strong suit. That is more of an angel's role. It was something I could not resolve directly using my authority, so I decided it was easier to leave the bomb defusal to you. Meanwhile, of course, their presence caused the souls of other members of your party to return to the ley lines each night. From where I stand, that was killing two birds with one stone. As both issues slowly resolved one another without me having to lift a finger, all I had to do was stay close by and keep the situation under control. Then use my authority to wrap things up at the end. And, of course, while I was at it, I thoroughly enjoyed watching this drama, dealing with death from a mortal perspective, play out on the stage.
Sounds like you had it all figured out, Grim Reaper. I just did the math. You said there's a hard limit to the number of souls the ley lines here can receive each day. It's 2, isn't it?
That much is obvious, even to a fool.
It's time to review this whole affair. If the ley lines can only take in 2 people per day, I need to go over the deaths from these past few days again.
Alright then. Deduction begins. Select each day's deceased. What?
Looking back now, none of us had the faintest idea at the time. From the moment that staff member named Dimov walked into the snowstorm, the incident had already begun.
Okay, so for day 1... Well, it would have been Alosha then being swapped out, right? Yeah.
Alosha was the second to walk into the snowstorm after Dimov to investigate. During this process, the ruler of death assumed his identity, making him one of the victims.
They choose the 2 characters who died.
During our first night in the theater, everyone was caught up in the novelty of it all. No one could have expected there would be victims the very next morning. Despite all the confusion, and with the help of hindsight, we finally began to realize that something was amiss with the snowstorm.
It wasn't Coolish. It was these 2, wasn't it? And these 2? Yeah, you and you.
The ley lines devoured Torgov and Sobolova on the first night. At the time, we thought this might be a murder case connected to Lelik.
The 3 characters.
Odette and I spoke a lot that night. 3 people were on watch, but in the morning, we discovered that someone had fallen victim all the same.
It was you, wasn't it? Was it this guy as well? I vaguely remember it. It's that sort of thing. I don't remember much of Coolish. Think that was then? Yeah.
The deaths of Coolish and Rampana caused everyone to stop suspecting Lelik. Unexplainable phenomena occurred one after another,
leading Mitya to suspect that we were caught up in a supernatural event.
Day 4, the two characters.
Later, we discovered that there seemed to be an extra person among us, and subsequently discovered the existence of the deceased.
Yep, Shram. He'd already died.
Mr. Shram realized he was the deceased and walked into the snowstorm to return to the ley lines of his own accord. It turns out there really was a dead person among us.
And that was also when you popped your clogs, Mr. Door.
He thought it was all over, but Mr. Valeri's death was a rude awakening for everyone. The ley lines consumed him during the night regardless. A lot happened today. Mr. Valeri's death led us to discover the connection between the number of deceased and the number of victims during the night.
Day 5.
The fact that there was more than one deceased seemed to bring us back to square one. Odette revealed some information she had been keeping to herself.
So that was Vodyanista. Tonya found them, and then the whole truth about Tonya came out.
Vodyanista was swallowed by the ley lines in her sleep, but the requiem she sang before falling asleep was quite a game changer. As it happened, Ptashka filled the void left by Mitya's return from the ley lines by walking into the snowstorm this morning. The girl I thought was child sister Tonya turned out to be another of the theater's deceased. Come to think of it, Ptashka was about to walk into the snowstorm at that time. And Renova, unaware that Mitya would return, was concerned that her soul would overflow from the ley lines. That's why she used Alosha's voice to try and persuade her to stay behind. Looking back, I suppose that was an early slip-up on her part.
Day 6.
No one could have expected anyone who walked into the snowstorm to return. But just after nightfall, Mitya returned, bringing crucial information with him. Various truths began to surface, including that all of us were already dead, and that the ruler of death was here among us. Then, after revealing her true form, Renova callously claimed 2 souls.
Chuganov. My bro, my dude. And Odette.
In fact, everyone was already dead by the time we took the photo. And in the days since, we've experienced many more partings in the afterlife. Now, only Mitya and I remain. And the true culprit behind everything still stands before us. In Mitya's eyes, I see the same anger and frustration that I feel. That covers everything. It's all clear now.
Your work isn't finished here yet, is it? The Traveler and I are still standing here, safe and sound.
The Water Imp's song threw things off a little, but it is of no consequence. The ley lines have already anchored your soul, and the first ray of light tomorrow morning will take you back. I, meanwhile, need to review my attitude towards the Water Imp race.
So the reunion in the night that Vodyanitsa mentioned, I suppose that was never meant to be a permanent reunion.
That just leaves you, Traveler. My power only allows me to temporarily separate your soul from your body. The ley lines of Tevat would not accept you, and your soul is firmly anchored to your body by your will. For a descender like you, who is not bound by Tevat's rules, your death can only be brought through the most violent of means, such as directly destroying either your body or soul.
But you haven't done that yet, have you? Thanks for letting me know that at least I can still be saved.
I have no interest in involving myself with Descenders. For now. Although, this may change if Asmodee remains missing, or you insist on interfering with our affairs.
One last question then. All our struggles and sacrifices here, they were meaningless from the very beginning, weren't they?
Death abides no reason. Besides, what you call sacrifice is merely a concept created by humanity. To me, it is nothing more than a self-indulgent charade in the face of death. Mere mortals fantasizing that their actions could reclaim something from my grasp. A truly laughable idea.
Grim Reaper, you really know how to get on my nerves.
I'm not here to ingratiate myself with you. I kill merely because your deaths are necessary.
Oh, you've made that quite clear. But humans don't take well to being scorned. Not even by the gods.
Interesting we have a new sword, but not our new costume.
This is futile. You must know that you are powerless against me in my own domain. I suggest that you save your strength.
For what? Maybe we can't change it. But if nothing else, we can at least teach you to have some respect for the dead.
Audacious.
You've been marked by death. Oh, Shishal, 'twas a dream. Does everyone remember, though?